Who else did you see at the Senior Bowl?
A guy from Minnesota named Cody Lindenberg. He's 240, 6'3", runs a 4.62 in the 40. Sideline to sideline guy. I saw him to be very instinctive. He's got, I would say, elite diagnosis skills pre-snap. He consistently put himself and his teammates in position to make plays. He was able to recognize formations and tendencies. He was able to cover the bigger tight ends. He's got a high production guy, advanced mental processing, which leads to quick trigger reactions against the run. Very good against the run. He excels at pattern matching in zone coverage. He's also, this is something else, Josh. I don't see a reason why we should bring anybody in that doesn't have is not a reliable tacklers. I just don't understand why we would have guys that are not going to be in a position to make tackles, can't run sideline to sideline, and that's something that Lindenberg is.
Well, that is definitely what we need. The missed tackle thing, we harp on it. I feel like it's every season. There's more missed tackles than there should be, and we're one of the league leaders in missed tackles and all this kind of crap, and kind of just get tired of it. And I think a lot of it does stem from not putting and I understand the analytics say don't pay and invest high in the linebacker position, but it's such an important position. And this is the type of guy, the elite processing is what I like to hear, because that does put you in position before the snap even happens to make that play. And I think a lot of missed tackles, those things stem from being out of position, being caught off guard, not exactly knowing what was coming before, all that kind of stuff, and just not being totally alert, where a guy like Lindenberg sounds like he could be that dude.
Yeah, he's had 94 tackles last year. He's not a big sack guy. He's not a big blitzing guy. He's not a big pass rushing guy. He's a guy that's going to be run stoppage focused. He's a guy that's going to be good on pass protection. He had 6 pass knockdowns last year. So that means he's involved in the pass coverage game. But don't expect him to be in the backfield a lot. I'm not saying he can't be trained to do that. I've got him ranked as a 4th round pick. That's where Schobert was. That's where a lot of, linebackers that you plug and play end up being. So this is the guy that we could pick on day 2 that would come in highly productive as far as tackling, very sure tackling, and just an impressive guy.
He reminds me, the way you're describing him, of J.D. Bertrand from Notre Dame last year. You came on this podcast with me and you talked about Bertrand, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what you described was intellectual, just processor, knew where to be, made the tackle. I mean, he was a sure-handed tackler, all that kind of stuff. And, the Browns didn't get him, obviously, but he was the guy that I was very interested in after talking to you about.